Okay, so I know you're not into sports. Well, yeah, I know you're not into sports, but I have to tell you this because it's hilarious. There's
Wait,
a
before we're already a few minutes into this. I've been recording for a minute and 20 seconds. So, does it tell you that it's recording
um
at the top?
oh yeah. Oh, in big huge letters it says Trevor is recording the call.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna say it'd be really creepy if you could just like secretly record a conversation. On Zoom, it goes, call is being recorded, like really loud. But
It's
before we
Ben Phelan's voice.
before we continue, I've got to do the introduction so that like yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hello, welcome back to the Digressor. This is a special 50th, I was gonna say anniversary episode, and I'm here with Mark, who I met randomly on Reddit last week. Okay. Mark is literally my oldest friend. We've known each other since not only he's my oldest friend, he's the friend I've known the longest, and the only person I met in the '90s I'm still friends with.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Age there?
Yeah. I mean, granted, it was 1999, but it was still the '90s.
Hey. And 1999 did have some of the best music out.
That was 23 years ago. Yeah.
Rangers Lost Galaxy is 23 years. Oh God.
Well, so I remember when they did the 20th anniversary of Toy Story, and I'm like, no, it's been 20 years, and it can't be. But guess what's coming up? Oh, no, no.
We've been we've been around so long that Pixar decided to say, you know what? We've made enough Toy Story movies. We've taken the story as far as we can go. Let's talk about the actual Buzz Lightyear the toy was based off of.
Yes. Something I've noticed about Pixar though is they have to have more Toy Stories than any other franchise that in their catalog, because there was Toy Story and there was A Bug's Life, and then the next movie was Toy Story 2. So okay, now there's two Toy Stories, and then they made none of the other movies got sequels, and I think until Cars 2 was the next one to get a sequel. But oh no, there's another movie that has a sequel. So Toy Story 3 was made, but then they made Cars 3, and guess what? Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
If they make a Cars 4, guess what? We're getting a Toy Story 5.
And you can't say and you can't say that Monsters Inc. had a sequel because it didn't.
Is that a prequel?
It was a prequel, yeah.
But it does have a sequel series on Disney Plus,
which I haven't seen yet, and I've been wanting to see it. And
I saw the first episode, and I was surprised at how good it was.
oh, you've only seen the first one? I don't feel as far behind now if you've only seen the first one.
No, I want to see the others. There's so much stuff to watch. It's like it's not that there's it's bad. It's just there's too much stuff to watch.
I can't even keep up with the Marvel series because of all this about a month ago or so.
If they were to release it all at once, I wouldn't be able to. But since they're doing it weekly, I'm able to. I stayed up to date with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then I didn't with What If. I didn't think What If mattered, but then I saw like people were saying, "Oh no, it ties directly into the MCU." I was like, "How?" And they're like, "Multiverse." I was like, "Ah, crap!" So I went back and I watched them.
multiverse of madness.
Madness.
Yeah, and I did see the first episode of Loki, and I was very confused as to what was going on.
Okay, yeah, that one. It's okay. Something that Marvel does sometimes is they just kind of throw you in the middle of a story and they explain it as they go. And Loki's the same way, where everyone was confused on the first episode of Loki, but by the end, you're like, oh, this is even more confusing. But now it's very CG effect-ishness. I don't know where that was going.
With Power Rangers no longer being on Nickelodeon, I don't have anything to watch on Saturday mornings anyway, and I'm strictly just streaming now. And I thought I could watch all the Marvel shows on Saturday mornings. Nope. What did Hulu do? They added the Golden Palace.
Yes! I was like, because I've been watching Golden Girls occasionally. That was like if okay, so this is also being. You know this. I'm telling the audience this who listen, because nobody watches my YouTube channel. I actually, that's something I was telling Chasity about is I went like 2 months not posting any of my videos on YouTube. And so I had like 11 videos not posted. Nobody said anything because nobody noticed. But because we're doing this, I was like, you know what? I'm going to slap something together and throw it up on YouTube. And so...
How many people are going to see this?
Maybe 2.
I thought I was doing a big major podcast.
No, I'm not famous. I have... Okay, let's put it...
I'm not famous.
Well, I will give you an example of what I mean. Let me go to my analytics. The podcasting host I use, that's where I upload my my podcast to when it distributes everywhere. It's called Podcastics. It's a very good site. Here is my analytics of all time. How many listeners I've had?
Ooh, wait, 51 since 1 month. That's not. I don't consider that to be too bad.
No, since 1 month. That's like in the past month. All time, 601.
How long have you been doing this?
September 26th, 2020.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, there's podcasts on Twitter that I interact with that have a lot, like they're like indies and they just started a few months ago, and we've only got 10,000 listens. What do we do to improve? I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. You need to teach me what you're doing.
So I don't suppose that check you wrote me is any good.
No, it's gonna bounce.
Like me out this conversation.
But yeah, so something I kind of teased at you, and I definitely I told you more details than I told Twitter. I teased it on that tweet I sent you, and I kind of explained a little bit. I didn't go too much into detail. So the podcast has kind of gotten stale. I know you haven't listened to any of the shows. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't know what's good. I don't have time to listen to anything anymore.
Yeah, one of my favorite podcasters is actually a really good friend of mine. Like, I've actually befriended some of these podcasters, and one of them, her name is Pixie, and we talk on something called Twitter Spaces. I know you don't know what that is. It's basically it's kind of hard to explain to someone less tech savvy. I mean, I was surprised that you had a Skype account, and you're like, it's built in. I'm like, oh, you already have it.
Oh, I didn't know until today.
Oh.
And I've had this computer a little over a year.
Oh.
Yeah, a little over a year.
And yeah, so Pixie was telling me she had a Twitter Spaces a couple days ago, and it's basically a live audio chat forum thing. You enter this room in Twitter, and you can live chat with a bunch of people. Well, I chat with Pixie all the time in there, and she was it was like, what does your podcast need? That was the topic of the spaces, and she's just going down the list like this podcast, what does your podcast need? And they were saying whatever, and they would spend like 20 minutes talking about it. Well, then she got to me, and I said, more followers and listeners. And so, like, they were going through, and she knows my podcast well enough and, like, what I post. She was like, all right, cracks knuckles. Here we go. And so she basically told me everything I was doing wrong. And you know what I was doing wrong? Everything I was doing wrong was yes. And so she didn't word it like that, obviously, but it made me realize that I have been doing things the wrong way, and I've been thinking about it, and I know kind of what I want to do. I took her advice, and I am going, after this episode, the show is going on a hiatus. I don't know how long. So usually when I say a hiatus, it's because I'm in like a depressive slump and I just don't feel like posting, but I actually have plans now. And part of the thing was I had registered a domain for the podcast, thedigressor.com, and that expired. I can't afford to renew it. But then also my subscription to Cyberlink, which is the video editor, audio editor, and photo editor, that expired too. So I can't do that's how I would make the podcast. And so that expired, and my website expired, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
I have no on a hiatus.
Well, no, I was still going to like drag along the podcast. Like, I'm gonna force it, but after talking with Pixie, I decided to stop and rethink with the way I do things here. And I've been completely rebuilding an entirely new website from scratch. The WordPress, as fun as it is, it's easy. It's really easy. That's why people like it. But it's so boring. The site. I picked the coolest looking one that would fit what I'm looking for, and that was still boring. And when we're done here, I'll send you the link to what I've done so far, and it's not even close to being actually done. But it's just like a skeleton of a site right now. But it's so much better than what I had before. And when I can register a domain, I will do it. And then I'm probably not going to use Cyberlink again. I liked it, but it was $100 a year. Yeah. So I'd rather just buy and own a software. Yeah.
A yearly membership to the Best Buy Total Tech is $200. You want to know how I found that out? I signed up for it so they could get my computer already back in December of 2020. So they could, put all the correct stuff on it, get it ready to go. I forgot that they told that I would need to go in there so that it doesn't get renewed for another year. Guess what I see on my credit card bill today?
Oh, no.
The Best Buy.
Oh, no.
Well, at least it wasn't out of my regular, my actual checking account. It was out of my credit card account, but still, I was like, ah. So I have a big, huge, and I've got 11 months to do it. Big, huge note on my fridge saying, cancel Best Buy membership. And likely it's going to be until Christmas time.
Yeah, you have 11 months to do it, but you're still going to forget.
Oh, no, I forgot last year. I have a big sign up right now reminding me to do it. I will do it.
Okay, working in retail for years, something I've learned is that no matter how big you make the sign or how loud you make the announcement, no one's going to hear it or see it. I don't know how many times people would come up to the counter, hey, your fountain machine isn't working. And I'm like looking over at it, and there's 3 big signs saying out of order. And it's like, oh, gee, I wonder why.
I'm looking for, because that reminds me of something. I went to Abilene Comic Con about a couple months ago, as you know. You saw the pictures from it.
Mm-hmm. A Power Ranger.
Yes, met Karen Ashley. She's awesome. Awesome person. Something happened there during another panel. I can't even remember who it was. It was an anime voice actress. And my friend that I talked to on Discord wanted me to hear her out and listen to her. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for you because you're a huge fan. Because he's a huge fan of the animes that she was in. I can't even remember her name, but she was up there with somebody from The Walking Dead. Jason. You don't watch The Walking Dead, I guess.
I do. I watched The Walking Dead, but like you said, I was like Norman, like Raidus.
Douglas.
No,
actor's name is Jason Douglas.
That sounds familiar. I should know that. Hey Google, who is Jason Douglas?
Jason Douglas is an American film, television, and voice actor known as Tobin on AMC.
Okay, I don't know who Tobin is.
Apparently, you're not that huge of a fan.
He might not be that big of a character. It's possible.
Okay, the anime voice actress's name, her name is Brittany Karbowski. She and they did a great panel. They were hilarious together. And this is what happened. The announcer at the Comic-Con kept coming on over the loudspeaker, announcing a Ninja Turtles pizza party that was going on at the Comic-Con, and kept interrupting every time Jason Douglas wanted to say something. So Jason Douglas is talking. He's doing his favorite voiceover impression, and the announcer comes on and interrupts it. So there's about a 10-second silence. He starts to talk again. The announcer comes on again. And then about 10 minutes later, the announcer comes on and goes, "In a world where you didn't hear the announcement the first time, the Ninja Turtles pizza party," and then Jason Douglas comes on and even louder, drowns out the announcer and goes, "In a world where they don't turn off the damn PA system in the main panel room, you're all hearing a message that you could care less about." Yeah, it was hilarious.
I just looked on the Walking Dead wiki, and apparently he wasn't a major character. So, but he is dead now. So,
but is he Walking Dead? I don't watch the show. I don't know.
How do you wake up dead? Unless you're a zombie.
Anyway, that was my funny antic from Abilene Comic Con. That and Baymax.
Oh, I remember Baymax. The picture, and I was like, oh, cool, the Baymax statue or whatever. I thought it was like a blow up figure, and you were like, that was a cosplayer. I'm like, there was a person in that.
Walking around like this, literally. Like walking side to side through the crowd. And let me tell you, that suit was top notch. That person was not catching COVID. I'm telling you that right now. It was like one of those what do you call it when you dress in like a full body gear during Yeah, it was literally like a hazmat suit, but Baymax. They pulled it off. Not
unless, did you admit? Unless he had COVID, and that was his way of still being able to make it to
Nobody there was catching it. That suit was protective.
You know what? I think COVID was probably the best thing that could happen to Comic-Con, because now like everyone's gonna wear like Kylo Ren masks and stuff, so like everyone's fine anyway.
Like, why are we canceling Comic-Con when everyone's wearing a mask? That's not the kind of mask they're talking. That's a good point. I was trying to think of some good that came out of COVID, and that was a good point right there.
I'm getting up because I'm going to show you something.
What happened?
What kind of mask do you have? Do you have like a mask you reuse, or do you have like the disposable kind that you only wear once?
I did have the disposable ones. I do have some with some like designs on them. I have one that's it's a cloth mask, and it has like soccer balls, footballs, stuff like that on it. But I recently was able to acquire a KN95 mask, and I'm going to tell you something. It's probably the most comfortable mask that I've worn.
Well, if I can find... Okay, so my favorite artist is Van Gogh. Van Gogh. And Van Gogh.
Yeah. No. Oh, that's cool. Where did you find that?
Amazon. The reason I'm bringing that up, my hat, is Starry Night, is my mask is...
That's cool.
Yes, I love this mask. I want a hoodie. That's the cafe painting that he did outside the cafe. You know, I forgot the name of it, but because I have the Starry Night hat, and it's a bucket hat for those listening, and I have Starry Night over the Rhone mask, and I want that cafe as a hoodie, but I can't find it.
You know, another good thing to come out of mask wearing is I haven't had to shave as often as I usually do.
And my favorite thing about wearing a mask is I don't have to fake smile as much.
Oh, I still do, but I don't know.
I did it first out of habit, but then I realized, oh wait, I don't have to do that. Now it's to the point I'm so used to wearing a mask that if I'm not wearing a mask, people just think I'm rude because I'm like not smiling at anybody. Like smile at me, and I'm just like.
Another cool thing I like about mask wearing, and even when COVID is over, even when the pandemic is over, I'm still probably going to wear it when I'm outside in cold weather.
Yes. Okay, so I don't like wearing it outside because I don't like, okay, so like I have to take my glasses off when I'm wearing it because it fogs up. So I'm not wearing them now, and I actually haven't worn them in a couple weeks, and that's because I kind of I stepped on them and broke them. But it's okay because I just by sheer coincidence I had an optometrist appointment coming up, so it's fine. So, not to say I did it on purpose, just I was like, oh.
No, your glasses fell off your face. You just went.
No. Here's the thing. They were on my floor, and I accidentally stepped on them. And a couple days before, my sunglasses, I bought them in Ohio at a gas station, and I'm in San Francisco now. So this is one of the few things I brought from San Francisco. And they were on the floor, and I stepped on them, broke them. So after I stepped on my regular glasses, I told Emery, I should stop putting glasses on the floor.
I don't know what you would in the first place.
I didn't. Okay, so at the time I had an air mattress because I didn't have a futon yet. So like everything was on the floor.
Wait. You have a futon? Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't like futons anymore.
I only wanted to get a futon so I could turn it into a couch.
Well, and that the futon that I had when I was in high school, you remember it?
Oh yeah. You're the reason I wanted a futon. I'm like, oh, futons are awesome.
Well, that one was. The one that I got in, I don't know what year it was, 2015 or 2016. I only had that thing for a couple of years and I got sick of it. So here's the thing. I don't know what your futon is like, but the one I had back in high school, turn it from a couch into a bed and vice versa. You just have to lift up on the front and put it down. There was nothing to it.
Yeah, that's what this one.
Okay. Let me tell you.
I like the kind that like transforms. You lift and it like folds, and it kind of like slides into a bed, or you can like slide it back into a couch.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
No, let me tell you the one that I had in like 2016, 2015, whatever. You have to sit up on the bed like this, grab the back of it, and pull it up to pull it into a couch.
No. Okay.
Problems right now.
I was kind of picky on futons because there was another futon I had when I first moved to Ohio that somebody bought me, and it's worth. I can say like if you're watching if you're doing the audio version, listener, you're not going to understand. I'm not good at describing things, so go look this up on YouTube. So here's how the couch version. It just goes like this, but the stand is under here. So like you roll onto this side and it flips. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I didn't want those are very popular type of futon. It's these kind, and I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I wanted that kind. Ow! I have a Facebook message. It went in my, it went in my ear. That was Nikki. Ow! Stop it.
Is it Nicki Minaj?
No, I wish. It's our Nikki.
Oh, well, she's cool too.
She's not Nicki Minaj though.
Yeah, but nobody is except for Cardi B. She's gonna come after me now.
Yeah. Okay. So part of I'm not going to go into detail about this on the episode. I will tell you more after the episode. I do have some plans for so whenever I do come back from the hiatus, this is currently season 3. So the way that my seasons have worked so far, I started in September 2020. That was season 1. I tried to do at least one. I did a bunch of episodes at first. Sometimes I would do an episode every day. I did 22 episodes between September 23rd and New Year's Eve. And so that was a lot. And my last episode of 2020 was Christmas Eve. And so when I started after the New Year, it was season 2. And when I moved to San Francisco in June, that was season 3. We're in season 3. And I was kind of hoping we could get, remember when I was telling you a few months ago, I'm hoping to get the 50th episode be the Christmas Eve one, like in the year with the 50th episode.
Yeah.
And but we didn't get to that. Emery and I did the Christmas Eve episode. That was the last episode of the year. This will be the last episode of season 3. And season 4 will start when I come back from the hiatus, however long that'll be. And it'd be like a revamped show. And I have ideas, and I want to do more guests. And so far, I've only done friends. Emery's my most frequent guest. And they've been in, I think, 5 episodes. And so I'm thinking about starting to ask, once I get the show more figured out, start to ask other podcasters to come guest on here. And there are a couple of, I do have some connect. Now that I've befriended some of these podcasters, some of them turn out to be not famous, like Tom Hanks famous, but they are like famous in like the community we're in. And so I have like connections. And so like I can possibly, once I get the show figured out and like more on track and like more established and like, like figured out what I want instead of just random whatever, I could probably get more high profile guests. There is one person in particular who is a goal of mine that I could tell you the name of and you wouldn't have any idea who it was. But if I said it on the podcast, everyone's going to be like, you're never going to get them. Yet. Actually, I'm going to send on Facebook. Are you full screen right now on your computer?
No.
Okay. No, I was. Don't say the name out loud. Tell me if you know who that is. I just sent it on Facebook. Or just no, wait, no. It's because this is being recorded.
Just come to me right as you put the phone to the screen.
What?
It had just come to me right as you put the phone to the screen. I was thinking, wait a minute.
Could you still make out what was said? I'm gonna blur that out anyway, just in case, because you know how the internet is.
Yeah, that's true. It just looked like a bright light.
But yeah,
Probably saw it right there.
Can you see it on Facebook?
Oh, did you send it to me?
Oh yeah, that's why I was. Tell me if you know who that person.
I've heard of that person.
You have heard of that person.
I don't know where. I think my friends on Discord might have mentioned that person. I think. Okay. I don't know where specifically.
Okay, hang on.
Are you going to send me something else?
Yes. I know exactly what to wait. Bam! I almost said her name while typing up.
I mean, you could easily edit it out, though, right? If you accidentally name drop.
Oh yeah, I could edit anything. I can make you say things that you didn't actually say.
Now, don't do that.
No, I wouldn't actually do that. I couldn't actually do that. I don't actually have that talent.
Oh, okay. I can roll with. Okay. I don't know necessarily. Wait.
I actually posted about her earlier on Facebook.
Well, now everyone knows it's a her.
I kind of let slip it was a her. I mean, it's that.
Okay, well, they can narrow it down now.
to only half the population of the planet.
She does look familiar. I'm going to say that. Maybe somebody showed me a video of her once. You're going to send else now, aren't you?
I probably sent it to. I'm a fan of hers. I've been a fan of hers for a long time. I mean, I haven't been a fan of hers before she was famous. I'm not one of those. I've been a fan of hers for like a few years, and like she was already well known. And so like I'm not one of those. I was fan of her before she was famous people.
I can't even think of a single artist or movie actor who I was a fan of before they were famous. So,
Rock Kills Kid.
Okay.
Remember that? Do you remember them?
I remember them.
I found them online, and like nobody had ever heard of them. They were on like it was back in like 2001, I think, or 2003, I think. Oh no, that was 20 years ago.
Atreyu.
I remember that.
Yeah, I started listening to them back in, when did I get that music sampler? It was like 2004 or 2005. I think it came with a Taking Back Sunday CD that came out in 2004. And Atreyu was on there with one song, and I listened to it and I loved it, and I ended up buying the album. I don't think they got famous until like their 2007, 2008 album. That's when I started hearing them on rock stations a lot. And I think they still get played quite a bit. So that's one. Oh, you froze.
Hey. Yeah, you glitched out there for a second too. I don't know how. I think the way that this records is it gets it directly from like the server or something like that. So like we could freeze up on each other, record it fine or something. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I was going to blame the fact that my mom was watching Hulu. Froze again. Okay.
All right.
I don't remember where we were, though.
I don't remember where we were either. It just kind of, I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but yeah, it glitched out for both of us and then disconnected. So this is a second call. and yeah.
Okay, it's really going to be mishmashed really good.
Yes. I was hoping to get it all in one take, so that it's just yeah. And then when we do the other thing later with the other people,
Things
um,
things never work out the way you want them
things
to.
never work out the way I want. That's why
Is that right?
I
Yeah.
never plan ahead. I never plan ahead because, as Harry Potter said, you plan, you get there, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it?
It is true.
Yeah. You get it. You get it.
Who are you talking to?
Nobody.
Okay. Hey, that's just. Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
I just noticed the Shang-Chi poster in the background.
oh yeah. Yeah, I got that even before I saw the movie because I knew it was going to be awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy as many calendars for next year. My wall used to be covered in like 5 different calendars. And last year I was like, I don't need 5 calendars.
Something I miss is you used to do the daily, the quote of the day calendar, and you haven't done that in a few years.
Because I wanted to do something different in 2020, and
Look what you caused.
you know what? Don't, because I actually think that to myself sometimes.
It's like you were holding us back, and then once you stopped, the floodgates of the virus came rushing over the earth.
Look, if the pandemic doesn't end by the end of this year, I will go back to the quote of the day. But let me tell you the daily calendar that I got this year.
Beginning of next year, they're going to be like, we've eradicated COVID.
Here's my daily calendar.
I love that.
Yeah. And it was mine for last year, too. And I'm sorry, better than quote of the day, in my opinion.
That is true.
But, no, I swear. Okay, you know what? You heard it here first, and you might need to remind me. If the pandemic doesn't end by December, I will be back to quote of the day, if I can find that calendar.
I will put a reminder on here. It'll notify me, and it'll remind me to remind you.
Do you know that I haven't seen one in Books A Million since 2019? That's where I used to buy them. I'll have to look on Amazon.
Okay, I have a reminder set for Christmas Day, all caps.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna have to know before Christmas Day.
Okay,
You know
hang on.
shipping is at that time of year? You're gonna put it for Thanksgiving, aren't you?
Yes, I am. 24th.
I don't know what day Thanksgiving is on this year.
It's usually on this last Thursday of, hey Google. I was right.
So is that on a Wednesday or a Tuesday?
Thanksgiving.
What was that? What reaction was that?
I don't know.
Tuesday or Wednesday? Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving's always on a Thursday.
I know. I was trying to throw you off. And I think I did.
I had to think about it. I looked down and I was like, it's Thanksgiving. It only falls on one day.
I wish it did.
Christmas was on the 25th last year, and it's on the 25th this year.
Oh, that's crazy.
What are the odds?
Christmas!
Santa, what's the meaning of Christmas?
Vengeance! I mean, presents.
Classic.
That scene kills me every time I watch that movie, and it's a very underrated moment in the movie.
You remember what we used to do all the time? Is yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Oh, yeah. No, yes, no. And I always like the Grinch's schedule, although I do have to look it up usually.
Yeah, I used to know it by heart, but then actually, that reminds me. I gotta look up something happened. Let me see. Not create group, search and conversation. World
No, create a group.
hunger.
What? Oh, tell no one.
Where'd it go? Wait, okay, hang on. Search. Tell. Search. Something better come up with this. Ah. No. This is. Okay, so apparently I could have sworn this was on Facebook, but I don't see it. Okay, I'm gonna do a search for that is creepy.
It's the dude from Soul.
I know, you interrupted me. I was gonna say it made my soul leave my body. It's like 4 p.m. I'm just gonna say 4 p.m.
Are you making the Grinch's schedule out?
No, I don't remember. Okay, so I quoted it to Emery the other day, where they were like, "So what's your plans for today?" And I looked it up and copied and pasted.
That's perfect.
And I don't remember what the reaction was.
That was like when I was trying to plan my day out at Abilene Comic Con, and I was like, okay, I could meet Karen Ashley and then see the Brittany Karbowski panel. But what will I wear?
Let's see. I'll just do a search for world. I cannot find it. Is that Squirtle? Oh, that is not Squirtle.
You haven't seen Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, I assume?
I have not seen
Okay, this is Bumpy.
that.
Bumpy is from Camp Cretaceous.
Is it canon?
Yeah, Camp Cretaceous is canon.
Then I will have to check it out.
The first scene actually takes place during Jurassic World. And there's also a moment in season 3, I believe, that takes place during the opening scene of Fallen Kingdom.
When the island's exploding?
Not when the island's exploding. The opening scene where the Mosasaurus attacks that little submarine, and that guy's getting chased by the T-Rex. It takes place at night, where the Mosasaurus gets freed.
Oh, wow. See, I like when spin-offs like that, interact with the actual story that we know of. They Lion King 1.5.
Oh, so is that Simba's Pride?
No, it's Lion King 1.5. It's Timon and Pumbaa's story, where the whole movie is basically that, where they were there all along. They were the reasons the animals fell, and I can't wait to be king. Speaking of that part when the island exploded, the Brontosaurus. Brachiosaurus. That's what I was going to say. That's not right. The Brachiosaurus. I know. That's what kind of reminded me of it. I like it. It's so huge. But the one that's there, that's this really emotional scene. Is that supposed to be the same one from the first movie?
I believe that one of the producers or directors confirmed that.
That makes it even more heartbreaking.
It does, and I actually try to ignore that scene. I literally try to ignore that moment. In my head, I literally put out a different scene in my head.
It's considering that I automatically assumed that one had died.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it must be like the grandchild of that one. But no, it's like I thought it was dead. Oh, it's alive. Oh no, no.
Oh no, because they confirmed the T-Rex in Jurassic World is the same one from the first movie.
How? After it died in the third one.
No. That in Jurassic Park. Okay, a few issues with the Lost World as well as Jurassic Park 3. One is they seem like they've been trying to ignore those two for whatever reason. However,
Oh,
even if they aren't, remember 2 and 3 took place on a different island. That's a different T-Rex.
oh, okay. Well, no, it wasn't the third one also on the first island, like on a
No,
different part. Okay.
no, the
Oh,
third one was on Isla Sorna.
okay.
Jurassic World, if you look closely at the T-Rex, you could see some scars like on its neck, I believe. It's the same scars that the raptors gave it when they were climbing up the T-Rex at the end of Jurassic Park.
Oh, that attention to detail.
Yeah. No, I didn't even notice
Nice.
that the first time. Somebody else pointed it out.
No,
I'm
I
not
meant
a
I
killer.
meant the filmmaker's attention to
Oh yeah.
detail.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like when they do little nods like that, like something like the fans. Like if you look at it closer, you're like, oh, they put this, they put that.
Let me tell you what I found amazing about Jurassic World is it gave me like almost everything that I wanted. I wanted to return to Isla Nublar. I wanted to see what a fully functioning theme park would be like. I wanted to see if that theme
Yes.
park had what would happen if what happened in Jurassic Park happened to a whole crowd of people. I wanted to see a swimming dinosaur, and I wanted to see a return to the visitor center. And they did all that.
I know. I saw it in theaters, and then whenever it got to like they were just panning the ground and it showed that banner on the floor, I was like, I almost heard screaming, and then like everyone was like,
Yep,
oh.
that was me. I did that. And the only thing that I was hoping for from a fourth Jurassic Park movie that I didn't get was another favorite dinosaur species of mine, which is Dimetrodon. However, they said that Dimetrodon might appear in Dominion, so it'd be
I
cool.
am there is something about the median I'm kind of upset about. They had said, you know how the dinosaurs had a specific look, an iconic look in the old trilogy, but then like scientists were like, oh, they had feathers. But then when they did the Jurassic World, they kept them looking the way they're used to, and people are like, but they have feathers. Why are you? But then the filmmakers were like, oh no, the reason that they still have no feathers is because these aren't the actual dinosaurs. These are mixed with amphibian DNA, so it's not going to be. I was like, okay, but then like the sneak peek we got of Dominion takes place like 65 million years ago. They still look like Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So like if they're going to have that narrative, they should have made them look, scientifically accurate for the.
I thought I might have noticed some feathers on some of them, but I'm not sure. I know that one toy that they're putting out this year, they make it look like it's going to have feathers. I don't remember what species it is. I have to look because the Dominion toy line is going to have 20 new dinosaur species. I can't keep up with all of them.
Wow, that is a lot.
But yeah, now that doesn't mean they're actually going to appear in the movie. It just means the toy line is going to have.
Oh, yeah, I remember like the Jurassic World. I mean the Lost World toy line had like like dinosaurs and they were like mixing dinosaur and human. I'm like, that wasn't even the movie had nothing to do with that.
There was a line there was one line. It was after Jurassic World came out that Hasbro did call a Dino Hybrid line, and I swear to you, there's a Dilophosaurus Rex. I don't know if you remember that. I posted a picture of it on Facebook.
I think so.
Never was in the movie, but it was so creepy looking and so ridiculous.
Oh, okay. I just looked at. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the trailer because I just looked it up and
Yeah, okay. I thought I might have seen some feathers.
yeah.
Um,
So that makes sense.
yeah, and like I said, there's one toy they're putting out, and I forget which species it is, but it will appear in the movie, and it looked like in the toy it had feathers, but they didn't provide a close-up, detailed look at it yet, so don't go by me. But I did see a behind-the-scenes picture of it.
Just like a first look.
It was a leaked image of the toy
Oh,
during.
I don't like those because sometimes those are fake.
I noticed with Mattel toy leaks, none of them have been fake so far, and
Oh.
I'm dating all the way back to 2018. Now,
I'm referring more to like phone leaks or like movie leaks, video game leaks. Those are usually like Sometimes they are like, of course, you can, a lot of the times it's like fan theories that people want to be true. Like a whole year ago, people were saying that, oh yeah, they're going to have like Doc Ock and all that back in No Way Home. And everyone was like, no way. But then like they did that first trailer and it was like, oh, Andrew and Toby. Like, no. I love how Andrew and Toby even kept denying it.
Oh no, I think Andrew, even after the movie came out and everybody had seen it, I think he should have kept denying it.
That wasn't me. That was a stunt double.
Yeah, what are you guys talking about? I was never Spider-Man.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. No, he even lied to Emma Stone. It was so funny. Like he was in an interview, he says that like she kept texting him saying like tell me, are you in the new one? Are you in the new one? He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And after she saw the movie, she texted him like, you're a jerk.
Tobey Maguire just was not in the public eye the whole time.
Yeah.
Promoted.
Well, see, like Andrew had another movie coming out, so that's why he had all these interviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think Toby, he's not in anything anymore, is he?
I don't remember the last movie. The last movie I saw him in that wasn't Spider-Man was Brothers.
Okay, so the last movie I saw him in that wasn't Spider-Man was Seabiscuit.
Oh, wow.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, Brothers, it wasn't that long ago, but Brothers was back in 2009.
Yeah, I was going to say 2009. And, he was in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah,
Great Gatsby, Boss Baby. I never saw that. Don't want to.
Yeah, either.
he was in Babylon.
Didn't see Babylon.
Yeah, it's not out yet. It stars him, Margot Robbie, and Brad Pitt.
I didn't see. I saw Great Gatsby. I don't remember seeing him in it, but it was a long time ago anyway.
Yeah, I gotta go back to it because I already scrolled away. Let's see. What did I say? Seabiscuit. Something else. Great Gatsby, Nick Carraway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna remember that.
Yeah, neither do I. He's also a producer. He produced Babylon.
He produced Spider-Man Way Home.
He also has television credits. Spoils of Babylon. Okay, Tony, what's your fascination with Babylon?
Dude, Babylon, get that obsessed with Spider-Man again. Now everyone's calling for Spider-Man 4 and the Amazing Spider-Man 3 now, which...
So, like, speaking of a fourth one, I'm still trying to find the first 4 Babylon.
All right, how do I end the call? It's like, let me guess. When Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6 came out, everyone was waiting for the first 3 to come out.
It's like I was looking for them for years, and then they were like, Episode 1. I'm like,
I liked what Peter said on Family Guy when he was going to recite the Star Wars stories. Let's start with part 4.
Yes. I'm going to count like George Lucas. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to count like Rockstar Games. 1, 2, 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, 4, 5.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I think I always wanted them to do a Grand Theft Auto movie, which they kind of did for Speed, but no, a Grand Theft Auto movie would be cool. But then I thought about it, and I wonder how much better it would work as like a Netflix series, TV series. I think it would work better.
Yes, especially if they turn San Andreas into a movie or series. It would work better as a series because the story of San Andreas is so long. If they made it to a movie, they would have to rush and cut, and it wouldn't be very good. Yeah,
I think it would work better as a series. And also on another subject, I remember when the movie San Andreas came out back in 2015, the earthquake. Everyone thought it was Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Except
I was like...
I was
You're
like,
the only
please
one.
let this be about the San Andreas Fault opening.
And I remember when they announced Pacific Rim, I thought it was about a natural disaster. I thought it was about, the Pacific Rim is what they call like the Pacific Rim, like all the areas, like the coastal areas of like in California and in like Japan, like that's all the Pacific Rim, all these earthquakes and volcanoes. And I thought it was going to be like that, just, an all out destruction movie. And then I saw the first trailer and it's just giant fighting robots, which I mean, I admit is awesome, but it's not what I was expecting.
Me neither. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, it's another Transformers movie.
Yes.
But I ended up loving the Pacific Rim movies, even
Yeah,
Uprising. I think it's way too much hate.
I never saw the second one.
Really, I really enjoyed the second one.
I like the first one, but like I only remember a couple of things from it. It didn't leave that big of an impression to me.
I just remember giant robots fighting each other.
Yeah,
and something
it
about
was
connecting their minds. That's all I remember.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots the movie. Oh wait, that was oh crap.
Steel.
Real Steel.
Yes.
Disney Plus announced that they're going to do a Disney Plus series about Real Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
another series to add to our list.
I don't know how I don't know what they're going to do with it though. I don't know if it's going to be like a continuation where they're going to get the same actors, or if it's going to be like a complete reboot, new story, or like same universe, new characters. I like that world they built in that one movie, to the point where like when I think on it, I think it's a whole series. I'm like, oh yeah, like what's the second one? Oh wait, no, there's only one, because they fleshed out that world in one movie. They did such a great job.
Yeah.
And when they announced a sequel and they announced a series on Disney Plus, most people were like, why? It was 10 years ago. And I'm like, yes, finally.
Yeah. No. Now, if it is a sequel series, I'm gonna have to rewatch the first movie because I don't remember it too well. But
I don't. Yeah. Actually, okay. There is an app I have to tell you. I know I told you, but I'm gonna have to tell you again. Because nobody remembers this. Yidio.
Yes.
Yidio. Yeah. Okay. It's on HBO Max.
What is it? Oh, Real Steel is okay.
It's also on these, but no one has those.
Nobody gets the $64 subscription to Hulu. I know somebody who does.
I have Hulu, but like the reason I said no one gets that is because it's Hulu plus HBO Max. If you're gonna get the HBO Max addition to Hulu, just get HBO Max. It's literally the same price.
Well, I have the Disney bundle. I have Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
I did the annual. So I don't do that because there's still ads on Hulu.
On Hulu?
Yeah. So I get the ad-free Hulu.
Oh, I see. The ads don't bother me. After so many years of watching commercials, I just don't care anymore.
Let it go. The ads never bothered me anyway. So they used to not bother me, and then like especially on like YouTube, and then they are like, YouTube Red, do this paid subscription to get rid of ads, and I'm like, I don't care about ads. And then they were like, do this free month subscription. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. But then I'm going back to the free one. But then after the end of that month, I was so used to no ads that like that first ad popped up. I'm like, what is this crap? Where's my card?
You know what?
And I've been a member since.
Have you seen, and this is going to be totally random, but you're going to get where I'm going with this. I don't know if you've seen in stores the new types of hamburger helpers that they have. They haven't changed it any, but up in the corner it says, instead of hamburger meat, try with meatballs, or try with hot dogs, or try with ground sausage, instead of regular hamburger meat. So I've been doing that, and guess what? I'm not going back to regular hamburger helper.
That makes sense. It's like, yeah.
Something, look for the hamburger helper and look for those try with this meat instead of the regular meat, because to me it's better.
I remember there was something you said when we were kids. You said "We're so poor. We have hamburger helper. We can't afford the hamburger. We just have helper."
Oh no, that was Bill Engvall.
Oh, there's a lot. Okay, so I've later found out a lot of the jokes you told me were actually just like stand-up comedian jokes.
Look, I'm still stealing them and telling them. And not telling people.
Well,
I actually told a Bill Engvall joke in church the other day without mentioning it was a Bill Engvall joke. I acted like it was my joke. Thank you, Bill.
well, okay. So I guess I have third-hand jokes because I steal your jokes. I just retell jokes. Oh, there is this one. There's two that you told me that I know I got from Golden Girls because I saw the episode. See, I had a dream I was being chased by a bottle of Listerine. All I could do when I woke up was gargle. I opened my mouth to scream, and all I could do was gargle. And then there was the other one. The guy that got in a fight with a muffler, the police made him reflect. He was exhausted. He got in a fight with a mirror, and the police made him reflect. I don't know. I can't tell your joke. I'm like Tim Taylor reciting Wilson's wisdom, telling the jokes.
Yeah, which was always my favorite part of Home Improvement, by the way. No, and let me guess, you don't credit me when you tell the jokes, do you?
I do not.
Okay. So it's funny that you mentioned that because you saw my status on Facebook the other day.
Which one? You post a lot.
I do post a lot. When I got the phone call.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Ed Sheeran lyrics. I thought you post your own poems all the time, and I thought you were going to say that you told someone that you wrote it.
No, I'm not that bad.
It's like, I'm pretty sure that's an Ed Sheeran song. It's like, no, I wrote it.
I'm pretty sure that song peaked at number 4 and everybody's heard it already. No, I got a phone call. I got a phone call and they said, your car warranty is time sensitive. And I said, your mom is time sensitive.
Yes, I remember that.
I posted that on Facebook. And one of my friends from Discord, who I also have on Facebook, totally stole it from me and posted it on her Facebook.
Oh, no.
I was like, and I just commented, I was like, hey. And she just goes, hey. So, yeah, you're not the only one who's stolen my jokes. And that was my joke, by the way. I came up with that one all by myself.
Your first original, and it's stolen twice.
Wait. Are you acting like the 2022 is my first original joke ever?
No, I didn't say that.
I'll have you know there were more. I just can't think of them right now. Oh, no, it was one joke that I told. It was no, that was from Titanic. Never mind.
That comedy movie I saw, I loved it so much. It was so hilarious. Oh, that was Schindler's List.
Ooh.
Oh, I know. I was going to say Titanic. I'm like, you said that. I was like going through all the serious movies in my head. What can I say? I was like, I was landing on, no pun intended, I was landing on United 93.
Okay, this part's going to have to be edited out.
Okay.
Also, this is going to have to be edited out.
Mark, something I've learned about dark humor. Dark humor is like food. Not everyone gets it.
It took me a minute.
Okay, so I think I went too far with one of my coworkers once in Ohio. We were, when I was working at the convenience store, we were trying to get, one of the coffee makers wasn't working. The display wasn't coming on. He was shaking it. So I hit it a couple times, the display, and it popped up. It worked. He goes, hey, it worked. And I said, if there's one thing my dad taught me, is you can get anything to do what you want it to do if you hit it hard enough.
You know what I thought you were going to say, though?
What?
I thought you were going to say one day at work, the coffee maker wasn't working, so he fired her.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have to edit 5 minutes out of this video.
No, I'm not editing any of it out.
Oh boy. Who watch? I want to know who watches this first of all.
Well, if it makes you feel better, there's only been 601 listeners in the year and a half that I've been doing this.
But does anybody we know watch it?
And Emery doesn't even watch it, and they're my best friend.
Okay. 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 I feel a little
So, my most listened to episodes, usually it's the ones with Emery, and they opted to not be in this episode, so I don't think you have anything to worry about.
I gotta say though, no. I really think that you should do one that brings two generations of friends together for you, me and Emery.
Yes, I wanted Emery to be in this, so it'd be like all my closest friends coming together, and like, I was, so like, with you and Chasity, and then Emery and all of us together in one big episode, but like, Emery was like, I was just in an episode, I don't want to be in another one this quick. I'm like, oh, that's fair. So I was like, you and Chasity, we've been talking about it last week or so, and I was like, yeah, our schedules aren't working out, because like, you were ready to go, and Chasity was like, we can do it tomorrow, and you were like, I can't do it tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, how about we do it like this?
Yeah, because I switched all my plans from tonight to tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was gonna like still try to do the original plan where we all do it together, but I was like, you already switched your plans, so I was like, you know what, let's just do this.
Yeah, it was. But I do think that me and you and Emery should be in an episode.
At some point, yes.
Later down the line.
So my episode with the most guests, I don't want to have too many guests in one episode. And my music therapy episode, I don't remember what episode it was, but it was, I think it was back in May, and it was Emery. Actually, I think I told you Emery surprised me in Ohio.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, we didn't do an episode then, but our mutual friend Michaela, well, actually Emery's a mutual friend, they introduced me to Michaela. We actually all hung out. We all went to driving in the country with Emery, considering I know Emery's from the city, and it was this weird driving through the country with Emery. It was so weird, especially since like it was like the third time we'd ever seen each other in person. It was just like this is so surreal. But like, yeah, whenever we all went back home, I was like, Michaela had just graduated from university in a degree in music therapy, and she was just talking about it a lot, and I was like, this sounds really interesting. It's like, I especially love when people, even if I'm not interested in what they're talking about, if someone's passionate about something, it's more interesting than if there's just like, oh, I read this thing about something, I don't really care about it, I'm just going to read what Wikipedia says. But like, what she, like, I could hear the passion in her voice. Like, she was excited about it, and it did sound interesting. And I was like, want to be in an episode? And she was like, yes, I'd love that. So, and kind of last minute, like, she and I had been planning on being in the episode, and then kind of last minute, Emery joined. So it was the three of us. And so far, it's one of my two favorite episodes.
Nice.
And this was not up yet.
It's funny that you mentioned that though, because like my friends on Discord, they don't know, well, at least a couple of them don't know much about Power Rangers, never really got into Power Rangers, but they love listening to me talk about it because I just get so like, I just fangirl so hard.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like hearing someone go on and on about something they're passionate about, it's so interesting. Even if you're not interested in it.
Yeah, you should hear me about toys, about what when
I have.
Oh no! When they revealed the list of all the Dominion toys that are coming out, I literally had to have an hour-long conversation in my head, writing out a list of which ones I'm going to get. Because I'm going to tell you something, I'm not a completionist anymore. I'm no longer a completionist.
Yeah, all the watchers, all the listeners can't see what I'm looking at. Mark's room is completely full. Like, there's no room. You actually had to start giving stuff away, didn't you?
Some things. And so here's what happened. So Power Rangers Lightning Collection, you've seen those, are the ones that have their beheaded. And
yes, I didn't like those. That was kind of, it's like, why would you, like, the head doesn't come with it on. The head is like off to the side, and it's like, that's so creepy. Why would you design it like that?
That's true, but at the same time, I just love the Lightning collection because, you know, I can pose them with their helmets on sometimes. Sometimes I can pose them with their regular civilian heads. I just love the Lightning collection figures. Some are pretty flawed, but for the most part, I love it. And when I completed In Space, which, as you know, is my favorite season of Power Rangers,
Yes.
when I completed In Space, I thought, I don't have to be a completionist anymore. I'm happy. I've completed the In Space team with the civilian heads that I've wanted, because when Bandai did Power Rangers, they did automorphing toys for every season. They did automorphers for Mighty Morphin, they did them for Zeo, they did them for Turbo. When they got to In Space, they stopped. And I was like, oh, In Space is the best season. If you need an automorphing team for any season, it's In Space. So when Hasbro did the Lightning collection with the civilian heads, I figured that's the closest we're going to come, and I'm so happy with that. And it almost feels like I have what I've been wanting since 1998, a complete collection of automorphing In Space team. So, you know, I'm still going to collect Lightning collection stuff, but not as much, because I'm thrilled with this.
That makes sense.
Even Dominion, even Jurassic World Dominion, you would think I'd want to get every species from the movie, but I'm just going to get the new species.
Yeah.
If it's a repaint, it would have to be a really terrific repaint.
Metallic dinosaurs.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm thinking with Dominion, that's going to be the last major toy line that I collect. I'm still going to, do Lightning collection figures here and there over the years, but I think after Dominion, there's too much room. It's too much to keep up with. And the toy collecting's really going to slow way down after this year, I think.
Yeah, I remember your room when we were kids, and looking at it now, yeah.
So different.
It's just...
You remember, it was nothing but, like, mostly just CDs. And
yeah, you had, like, walls of CDs, and, like, you did have a few action figures, but it was, like, the little figures, and you had, like, the football helmets on the dresser.
Football helmets, yeah. And I had that little football field. Do you remember that little football field that I had?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that thing got damaged, actually.
Do you still have the morpher that we played with? Two.
Yes.
Oh, the battery died, didn't it?
Yeah, the battery. Yeah, that's true. It actually is dead on it. I thought it was over here. I remember it went missing for a long time, and then it turned out to just be right in between my dresser and entertainment center. And I didn't know how it could have gone missing. Yeah, you know what? And now I don't know what I did with it again.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the problem with having too much stuff, and this
Yeah.
is going to cut back on collecting big time after this year.
You buy a second house just for all your stuff.
I'm not buying no second house. I'm going to tell you that. That's not happening. I actually, my goal after this year, after I get wrapped up with all the toy collecting and everything, is I'm actually already wanting a new car.
Oh, what's wrong with yours? Oh wait, I think you told me. I don't remember. You did tell me what was wrong with the car, but I don't remember. I'm not interested in the car, so I was like, oh no, that does not sound good at all.
No, I'm not going to get into the detail of anything, but it hasn't been having any major issues. It's still running just fine.
Is this the same one? Is that the one that was your mom's car?
No, it's a different one. It's a Honda, which you don't, like you said, you don't know.
I recognize the name of the company, but I don't know.
But yeah, no, I've had it since 2012, so you've seen it.
Oh, is this a green one?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't you get rid of? I thought you switched to your mom's car. I
did for a brief while. You know what made me get disgusted with her car? The CD player stopped working.
That'll do it.
It's time for a new car.
So,
Oh, so yeah, so no, I want to get a new one because I'd love to meet my friends on Discord in person sometime and like take a drive out east because they all live on the East Coast and see them. And I'd like to have like kind of a more reliable, newer car when I do that. And who knows, maybe even take a cross-country road trip from there to San Francisco. There's somebody I know that lives there, but I can't place my finger on who it is.
Emery.
Emery, that's who it is.
Yes, only important person here.
Emery is one of my best friends. I happen to know them very well.
Yeah, I know. Me too. They're very good.
I know their favorite color.
What's their favorite color?
Pearl.
Purple.
That's partially right.
I could have said any color. You're like, yeah, I nailed it.
It's like the My Little Pony episode where Spike was gonna sing. He thought he was gonna sing the Ponyville anthem, and it wound up that he had to sing the Wonderbolts anthem, and he didn't know any of the words to it. You remember that one?
I've seen the whole series. I don't remember that one.
He was singing all the wrong words. He was like, "Oh, we're the Wonderbolts, and we're super fast, and we come from Equestria, and I wish this song was over now. Wish it was over now." And by the time it finally ended, the whole crowd was just silent. And then all of a sudden you hear Pinkie Pie's voice, "Nailed it!"
Reminds me of Batman from Lego Movie. First try.
No, come on. Best character from Lego Movie. Spaceship!
Oh, yes!
I love the spaceship.
You know what's kind of sad though is that the Lego version of any franchise is usually the best version. Like what's the best Star Wars game? Lego Star Wars. What's the best Batman game? Lego Batman.
I'll tell you something. There's a Lego Jurassic World TV series. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called Legends of Isla Nublar.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Not canon at all. It's a
I would imagine there's a Lego Star Wars Christmas special that furthers the story but isn't canon.
Yeah. No, Lego Jurassic World is a totally different side story, and you could tell because you could just tell from the character interactions.
Because they're Legos?
Well, no. No, like Hoskins was the main villain of the first Jurassic World movie, and in Lego Jurassic World: Legend of Isla Nublar, he's a total ditz. He's a total numbskull. He's always getting in accidents and stuff, and this doesn't come off as villain type at all. So it's a totally separate thing. Yet at the same time, it is amazing. There's actually one scene, and it does reference Fallen Kingdom, even though it's not canon. Where they're driving by the volcano, and Claire's talking about the volcano and like something about what if it erupts, and Owen goes, "Please, that volcano erupting," and then it shows like 5 years later, and it shows a Lego version of them running from the volcano and like, all the lava and rocks shooting out of it, and then it goes back to the present day, and Owen goes, "That would never happen." So it's not canon, but they do reference the
movies.
Yeah. And Ian Malcolm, a Lego Ian Malcolm, shows up, and it's just not anything like his original character. But it's still fun. It's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's very amusing. It's hilarious. I actually recommend it, even though it's not canon at all. It is hilarious.
Look, I used to not care. It was like, oh, this isn't canon. I don't care. But like I told you, like I stopped watching Daredevil because Kevin Feige said it's not canon, and now all of a sudden it is canon. So I gotta go back and watch Daredevil again.
I know.
It's like, how dare you?
That's another thing. Now that Daredevil is canon again, I have to go back and rewatch that now that I finally got Netflix. And it's like, it's just too much to keep up with.
Well, the only thing I want to watch on Netflix is Cobra Kai.
A big reason that I got Netflix is because that's where the new My Little Pony is going to be. as well as that's where they're moving Power Rangers this season.
Oh.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, I know. Like a few years ago, you had this big rant about streaming services and how some movie was getting a sequel that was straight to Netflix, and you were like, oh, that's worse than straight to sci-fi. And now like everything is straight to streaming, and
You know, and I think a huge thing that I had against streaming is you had to have internet for streaming, and at the time our internet out here was garbage.
oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, why would you want to go to streaming what if you don't have a good internet service? Like, it's such a stupid thing. But our internet has improved greatly out here, knock on wood. And yeah.
Wait, Ozark's still around?
What, the water brand?
That's Ozarka. There's a series called Ozark. I remember that was around years ago, and it's just 2022 season 4, but it's like how is there only 4 seasons? I think that was around when I was in Texas 8 years ago.
I just know that when they said Power Rangers and My Little Pony were all moving to Netflix only, I was like, well, this is it. Goodbye, regular broadcast TV. It's weird not watching Power Rangers on Saturday mornings anymore.
You watch it whenever you want to.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's just weird. I mean, I could watch it on Saturday mornings, but now I'm watching Golden Palace on Saturday morning.
Out of habit, you still set a streaming schedule for yourself.
I do still have a schedule. I have to admit it.
I don't though. So what I do, I have one series at a time usually. Because like when I was watching things on TV, it was one at a time unless they had a marathon. But now like I find a show, I binge the whole thing all at once, and then move on to the next one.
Yeah. Well, see, okay, so like I still watch a lot of game shows that air on ABC. Like, for example, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Supermarket Sweep both air on Sunday nights. So I make a schedule to watch them the next day, Monday night. So I'm still going by schedule. But when Netflix uploads like the first, I don't know, 7, 8 episodes, what do you do?
Okay, so I'm sitting on a sleeping bag, and when I shifted my weight and slid down.
That's happened. I don't know. Do you remember the beanbag that I used to have? It was a big, giant smiley face.
I think so.
That always happened to me in that. I always just slid down and down and down. But yeah, no, when Netflix uploads like the first 6 or 7 episodes of Dino Fury, it's going to be binge watching that for me. So
I don't like binging shows because you get through them too quickly. Like when I was avoiding Cobra Kai for years because I didn't like Karate Kid Part 3 or the next Karate Kid, and so I was like, people were like, you need to watch this. And I don't want to watch it. And they season 3 came out, and I had a bunch of coworkers at UDF like, you need to watch this. I was like, you know what, fine. I'm off the next 2 days. I'll watch it. I watched the first episode, and I binged all 3 episodes those 2 days I was off. And as good as it was, I had to wait a whole year to watch season 4, and then I slowed down. I watched 1 episode a day.
You know, it's really not going to be too much different from an airing on Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon would air 8 episodes from February to April, and then it would go on a 6-month hiatus all the way to October. So I think Netflix is probably going to do the same thing. They're going to drop like 7 episodes just in April alone, and then they're going to drop the rest of the season all the way in October. So it's not going to be too much different, I don't think.
Yeah, what Netflix does, I like it, but I don't at the same time, is they drop an entire series at once, or an entire season, which is good. Like, again, like, you binge it too quickly, but then, like, Unsolved Mysteries, it says 2 seasons of 6 episodes, but technically it's 1 season they split into 2. It's season 1 is called, like, Collection 1, and then the second one's like Collection 2 or something like that, but yeah. They're all technically 1 season.
Yeah. Well,
I
I have nothing against uploading like an entire season at once, but I also like what Paramount Plus does with Star Trek Prodigy. They just do one episode a week. I don't
yeah,
mind
that's
that.
That's what Disney Plus does. It makes it more interesting because that's like especially with like they have like Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett's currently going on, and I'm a huge fan of that. And like when WandaVision was out and releasing an episode a week gives time for fans to like theorize and discuss it, and it makes it more exciting and you anticipate what's going to happen in the last episode. We've got to wait a month to find out, and they drop it all at once. It's like I gotta wait a couple days to watch them all and then join the conversation. It's like, no, there's a conversation going as we all find out together what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah. But I love that, like with cliffhanger endings. I will never forget in Power Rangers Turbo when they aired an episode called Honey, I Shrunk the Rangers Part 1 in May of 1997. You know when Part 2 aired? September of 1997.
Oh,
So I wish we would have gotten a whole season at once there. And then I'll never forget
yeah.
States when the mid-season finale featured whoever the monster was. I lost you. Oh, no, I didn't. It featured whoever the monster was literally throwing the Megazord. And the Megazord was like, I think it was like about to fall off of a cliff or no. I don't know. I just know that it ended right in the dead middle of a Megazord battle. And it didn't pick back up again until September. So I love those cliffhanger endings, but at the same time, I hate them.
Yeah. I think my biggest example of binging too fast is with Desperate Housewives. I'm a huge fan. I've seen it through twice. The first time was in 2014 at the beginning. It's my friend Chelsea with the CH as opposed to my other friend. She told me to watch. I was like, I need something to watch. And she's like, Desperate Housewives. I was like, no, I'm being serious. And she was like, no, trust me. And I'm like, fine. And again, I started watching it. There's 8 seasons, 25 episodes each season. I wish they would still do that with shows. But anyway, I don't like how they do like 10 episodes a season. Anyway, I watched all 8 seasons in under a month.
Dang.
That's all I was doing. I'd wake up, watch Desperate Housewives until I fell asleep, wake up, watch, and that's all I was doing. It was great because I got it all at once. But then, like, I thought I knew the whole show now. And then, so, like, back, it was in 2016, I decided to watch it again. I made it last a year. I was, like, started in, like, May 2016. I ended in, July 2017 the next year. And I realized that because I had binged it so fast, there were entire storylines I completely missed. I'm like, I do not remember this at all.
This is how I binge a season. So this is my favorite anime. It's the only anime that I've seen. It's Hyperdimension Neptunia. The only anime I've seen, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite shows. And it was my friends on Discord who got me curious about it, so I decided to watch it. My version of binging is it's 13 episodes. I watched like 4 episodes a night and 5 episodes on the final night. And it instantly became one of my favorite shows. I got so hooked on it that I just could not stop watching it. I think I watched it through twice within a month. It's only got 1 season.
So what I started doing, because of everything with like Desperate Housewives and Cobra Kai, I haven't rewatched Cobra Kai. As I realized whenever season 4 started, I should have watched it again because like season 4 started, I'm like, I have no idea who any of these people are, and it's like, where are they? What are these people doing? And then like I figured it out as the series went on. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that storyline. I should probably, but something I've learned now is take it slow. And like with Cobra Kai, I watch 1 episode a day. And I think the first time I really did that was I think you probably remember me telling you about it. There was a show on Netflix Emery had suggested I watch. I watched Squid Game, and I loved that show. It was really good. I usually don't watch something just because it's popular, but like everybody, I wanted to know what all the references are. Like everyone's referencing it. I was like, I've got to watch this thing. And I was watching an episode today, yeah. But then like I told Emery, like, I need to watch another K-drama. I just need to watch another K-drama. And they told me about a show on Netflix called It's Okay to Not Be Okay. And it's a it's a it's a romantic it's not a romantic comedy. It's a comedy drama, but it's a romance. It's confusing, like how to describe it. It's like so good. I like fell in love with all the characters, and there's once it was nominated for an Emmy, and I watched an episode a day, and that was a show like I wanted. The way they ended each episode was with a cliffhanger, and I every day I wanted to go to the next one, but I was like, nope, 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 gotta stop, gotta stop, gotta stop, gotta stop.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend it. If you're on Netflix, I highly recommend It's Okay to Not Be Okay. It's such a good show. They need to do. There's probably not going to be a season 2 because they ended this. Like they wrapped the story up. The story came full. Like it wrapped up. But these characters are so good. I want to know what happens to them next.
Yeah.
There needs to be a second season, and there's a bunch of fans like, what happens next? It's like, if they do a second season, they'd have to like completely come up with a completely new story because they already finished the story they set up.
That's how I felt about Neptunia, kind of. I mean, I love the characters so much. The characters are literally like the 4 main characters are like younger versions of the Golden Girls, personality-wise. Like you have a Rose, you have a Blanche, you have a Dorothy, you have a Sophia, and they're just so. I mean, they're so much fun. They're so easy to love. I mean, you care about what happens to them. And the show it's kind of like what you described. It's a comedy drama. There's a lot of really ridiculous, absurd humor, kind of like Family Guy. A lot of absurd humor, a lot of risque humor. There's literally an episode about them going to an island called R18 Island. Yeah. A lot of fan service in it. Nothing graphic. It's very PG-13. The show's very PG-13.
Suggestive though.
It's very suggestive. But there's also episodes in there that are so emotional that I just literally there was one particular episode of Neptunia where the way it ended just crushed me. I mean, I was like on the verge of tears. So they know how to do it all. They know how to do fan service. They know how to do drama. They know how to do comedy. I just love Hyperdimension Neptunia. It's amazing. I've never played the game. It's based off of a game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've never played the game, but I've had friends tell me about the game. And it sounds like something I would want to play, but with other people. But the animation, Hyperdimension Neptunia animation, the show, it's just so good. It's one of my favorites. I'm looking at the time, and I'm gonna have to wrap it up here in a couple of minutes.
Okay, I just want to end it with this. The one of the main characters, her name, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Ko Moon Young, I don't know. Her character, like that's the character name. I don't know the actress's name. Like at the beginning, she seems like cold and heartless, but like by the end of the series, like even halfway through the series, she has some legitimately emotional moments where like I legit felt for her. And it's wow, we just hit an hour on this recording, and I actually started crying on one episode because of her. And I'm like, there's not a lot of shows that make me cry like that. Like
Before I go, there is one thing. If you ever do watch Hyperdimension Neptunia, episode 2 might trigger some people, is all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But at the same time, it really develops on the character of my favorite character, Blonde.
I hear the famous train.
You can hear that?
I can hear that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're loud. But it also develops on her character really well, but it's also a very triggery episode. but let's just say the villain gets served some very awesome justice in the end.
Nice.
So this was fun.
I have to do this again sometime.
Like I said, I'd like to do one with you, me, and Emery at some point. I would think that would be really cool.
That would be great. I will discuss that with them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I remember they're my bestie too. I'm just kidding.
It's like Mark says that you're their best friend.
Like Mark says he knows you from like a past life. Anyway.
Y'all were like siblings, but y'all did everything together.
Mark's secretly your half brother twice removed. All right, so.
Siamese twins twice removed.
We're ending it with that.
We're ending it with that.
Yeah. Jinx, you owe me a cut.
Like we're conjoined by the fingernail. We were detached, but we share a liver.
All right, can I just say one last thing before I hang up? Just one last goodbye before I hang up. Goodbye, 5 listeners.
Okay, so it's been 2 weeks and 4 days since what you just saw. The plan was Mark and I were going to record one night. Actually, the original plan was Mark, Chasity, and I were going to record together, but we couldn't get our schedules to sync up, so I decided to do them both separately. And Chastity and I were going to record the next day, but her schedule is so crazy that yeah, it's taken 2 weeks and 4 days, and here's Chastity.
That's me.
Another one of my oldest and best friends.
A little bit strange, but that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with being strange. You're uniquely you.
I've had a spiritual awakening. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go into all that.
No. So if you're listening to this through the audio platforms, you won't know that she has green hair right now. Right now. It could change by the end of this. She's like Tonks. Her hair color changes on a whim.
Oh, you know what? You know what I'm forgetting?
What did you forget?
That I have to talk.
Yes, that is an important part of a podcast, is talking.
Yes. So, what are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. I figured we just hit record and see what happens. I've hit record. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So, how about we we might want to start lighthearted because I was going to say mental health because I always want to talk about mental health.
Yeah. Let's start light. Because you and I can get really deep into that subject. So let's not start there.
So we'll start back in when I was a wee little lad. A lad, yes, I'm a lad now. Just like my hair, I can just change. Anyway, so let's talk about. Do you remember the day we met?
Yeah, your cousin introduced us.
Which cousin? I don't remember.
Tim.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember. Were we like outside of like that store called Maxine's?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. They had the best burgers.
I can never afford anything. I would just go there with friends. So I never ate there.
I actually could never afford there anyway, but I had like really good friends around me when I went who would always like buy me something or I would take a bite of their burger or something. But yeah.
See, I never had money and I would go with people, but nobody would buy me anything.
I would buy you lots of love.
It's not the same.
But it could.
Burger.
I'll pay you with my time. Here you go.
Okay, that's actually more valuable than money.
It is very much so. Didn't we just have a conversation that was really weird about how the time was? Yes.
Yes.
We're into different time zones, so it's all funky.
Yes.
Like, you have a little bit of time, but a lot of time. And I'm like, this is so mind-blowing.
Yes. Okay, so originally I had today off. I have today off still. And I told Chasity, I have all day to record. Whenever you get off, we can have as much time as we need. Then I knew I had something at the church later, but it's at 6:30 my time, which would be 8:30 her time, and she'd already be asleep or like out for the night. And so like I knew I didn't have to worry about that. But then someone at church texted me and asked me if I can come in at 3 to help set up, and I, without thinking, was like, yeah, of course. I don't have any plans. And and then she was like, great. And I was like, oh crap. And so, but then I thought about it, like 3 o'clock is still 5 o'clock for Chastity, and that was 11 o'clock my time then. So like we still had plenty of time, just less time than before. Chastity randomly knitting.
Crocheting, there's a difference.
There is a difference. I couldn't tell.
This one is for my rainbow niece. She's a rainbow baby, so on her first birthday, I'm just gonna give her a blanket that's rainbow.
Okay, you explained it to me before, but I forget. What is a rainbow baby?
My sister had previously lost a child before having her last child. So because she gave birth to a live, healthy baby, we have a rainbow baby born through a storm, out at the end of a storm. That was a difficult time, but I'm glad my family pulled through that, and I'm glad my sister pulled through that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I didn't know that that's what that. I mean, you did explain it to me, but that was a while back. I don't remember. I don't know. I slept since then.
I've slept since then too. That's why I forget a lot of the conversations like we have, and then we end up having sometimes the same conversation, but then we add to it, and we're like, oh yeah, remember?
Yeah, it's like, wait, I'm having deja vu. We've had this before, haven't we? It's something I've noticed, like, used to our conversations when we started talking every day, we were mostly talking about true crime, and now we barely talk about true crime.
I know.
You remember?
My Sparkle. I gotta tell you something.
Okay.
There was, it's a true crime that was actually going on. Like, this person, I don't know, he had to choose between one love or the other, and he didn't choose one love, so she killed him, but then she helped she helped the twin sister try to look and locate him. Oh my Sparkles, that was the most insane thing. Like, who does that? Like a psychopath.
There's so many everyone always focuses on, the big ones like Ted Bundy and all that. But then there's so many like the smaller true crime cases that no one ever there's so many interesting ones. But remember, I got you obsessed with Zodiac. Like, you spent like a month trying to decipher the code. You were like, I can figure this. I can crack this. I know I can. I'm like, Chastity.
I
Get
couldn't.
the rest.
I was just wanting to see signs that wasn't there, and I'm like,
yeah, I felt like Indiana Jones's father at the end of Last Crusade. Let it go, Indiana.
I'm usually good with puzzles. That's why I thought I could crack it, but nope, I couldn't.
Yeah, it took a computer to crack it. Did you hear that it was cracked?
Yeah, when I was in therapy, I got the news through someone else's phone.
Yeah, my first thought when I saw that was you. My first thought was you. I was thinking it had like. My first thought when I saw that, I thought of you, but then my second thought was that better have been a very unique way of being solved, because if it was a person that solved it on their own, you would have been very upset.
Oh.
And it was a computer. Like, I saw a video on how it was done, and it was done by like this really advanced computer, and it was like, yeah, a person couldn't have done that. I mean, a person made it, but yeah.
We all want to be detectives.
We are detectives, just not good ones.
That's true. That's true. Have you played any good video games lately?
Yeah, actually, I have. I just beat Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
I've never heard that before. I've never heard that
Really?
game.
Ori,
Yeah.
okay, the Ori and the Blind Forest is the first one, and that's the game. I did my last episode before this one was about my favorite video games, and I went into depth talking about my love for Ori. I used to not like indie games or side scrollers because I'm thinking, why are you doing side scrollers? This this is an Xbox One. Why do a side scroller? This is stupid. But then I played Ori. So I had a bunch of people tell me, you need to play Ori. It's really good. It's on Game Pass. You don't have to pay anything to play it. I was like, fine, I'll try it. And I fell in love with it. And now I play indie games and side scrollers all the time.
I haven't played any games lately. Like, it's just been phone games because I've been so busy.
Yeah. I used to not really do a whole lot of mobile games, but here, let me show you. I have folders on my home screen, and I have a games folder that has 3 pages. Well, 2, and then like 3 extra games on the 3rd page. But yeah, I play a lot of mobile games. So one of them is, okay, I thought this was a joke when I saw an advertisement on Facebook, and I was like, that has to be a joke. But nope, Farmville 3 is a thing.
Really?
I've been playing it.
You've been playing it? Is it fun? Is it different?
It's different. It's not fun.
Oh.
But I'm hooked. Every day I'm playing, I'm like, I'm going to uninstall this. I am going to uninstall this. But like, I keep playing.
Oh, that's like the chicken game for me. Can I tell my chicken game story?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So, I work very early in the morning, 5:30. I have to be there. And I was trying to find a game I can play that's easy, that's simple, that I don't have to really think about, just something that'll put me to sleep. And I came across this game with a giant egg, and it had the universe around it, and it intrigued me because it had the cosmos as like the cover. And of course, a simple-minded person like me would get so attracted by it that I
Thing.
and I was like, okay, well, it's like about 8:40. I'm gonna play this game for a little while, and then I'll be done. And all it is you just push a button, and chickens run out, and you build their chicken coops. Like it's a button masher game.
Egg Inc.
Yes, I didn't know.
I played that.
Oh my sparkles! So I started playing it at 8:40, and I looked down, and then I looked back up at the clock, and it was like midnight, and I had to be up in like 5 hours, and I was freaking out. I didn't realize I played a game that long. Oh my spark. Oh, and then when I got to work, I was like, I couldn't sleep because the chickens kept me awake, and I live in a small town it's a farming town, so they really thought that I was talking about live chickens. And I mean, I didn't really want to tell them I was playing a chicken game on my phone, but I did because honesty and recovery.
Okay, some of my main games on mobile, there's 2 big ones. One of them, they're both by People Fun. I don't know, that's a weird name, but one of them is called Search. It's basically a word search, and then the other one is Blockscapes, and it's also by them. And it's the only game not only do I pay for it every month. That's the music. I pay for it to get rid of ads. And it's a game. I've been doing this for like a year, I think, or 6 months. I don't know. I was back in Ohio when I first downloaded it, and this game is so good, it's worth it. It's only like $3 a month to get rid of ads, but because like otherwise, the thing is like one of these where you got like match the shapes up and like it's kind of like Tetris, but you get to pick what goes where and you can't really see. And you like clear the levels, clear the lines and stuff, and like when you go until you can't place any more shapes, and after each round there's an ad that plays, and it's annoying. It's not skippable, and so I was like, this game is worth paying the $3 a month for to get rid of ads because it's so good. It's so simple, but it's good.
Hey, you said one of my positive trigger words, skippable. I love that word.
Skippable?
It just makes me happy. Skippable. Yeah.
But
I want to talk about this. Do you play this game? Yeah, you used to, right?
Yes, I did play that.
This is the only game I put Love Nikki, Dress Up Queen. It's the only game I put money into. Which is totally weird because
everyone has one.
It has a storyline that's interesting, but they my favorite characters, and I was super mad.
They did what?
What?
They did what?
They killed off one of my favorite characters.
Wait, it's a game with it's one of those kind of games?
Yeah.
Okay, I posted about it on Facebook. Okay, here it is. Actually, here it is. I got it on Facebook. It was 2017, and I was confused. I was like, someone suggested a mobile game to me called Love Nikki Dress Up Queen. I think it might have been you that suggested it. They said, don't judge it, just try it, trust me. It's kind of an interesting concept, though a weird one. It's basically a dress-up game, but you go around doing quests and competing with other people, fashion battles. Anyway, I uninstalled it after a while. It was interesting, but I can't imagine sticking with it for long. But this one moment I thought was worth screenshotting. It basically sums up these kind of games. Why does every random person we meet want to battle?
Oh.
And that's true. I might. Okay, I have.
I love Momo.
I've been seeing ads for it again, and that was back in 2017.
Oh no, Nikki said that.
Huh?
Oh, I was seeing who said that. Nikki or Momo, and Nikki said that.
Momo.
In the game. But Momo's from Maryland. That doesn't make sense for Momo to say that.
Okay, it says Momo right there.
That's crazy.
Actually, you know what? Because of you.
Are you going to reinstall it?
I'm going to reinstall it.
Okay, so
it's installed.
What I like about this game is sometimes they do mashups or collabs, and they did one with Barbie once, and I went crazy. Like, I wanted to buy all the package of diamonds because I wanted the full Barbie suit. What my favorite one was Hatsune. Do you know who that is? Yeah. They did a collab. They did a collab with them before, and I went crazy on them. I bought all the suits. I was so excited for it. So sometimes they have collabs, and that's what I put money into. But every day I just go on and get the free diamonds.
Did I ever tell you my first time spending money on a game? It was actually Family Guy Quest for Stuff. And
I think you told me that before.
Yeah, I think I did tell you. I'm going to say it again for the show because I haven't mentioned it on here yet. It was years ago. I think it was 2015 or 16. It was shortly after the game came out, and the big there's like the in-game currency which you get for free, but then there's like the big currency you actually have to pay money for is like golden clams or something like that. And that's you use those to get like better characters and stuff. And it's like $5 here or there, $2 here or there, and I would just kept it because I had the game Google Play connected to my Sprint account, and so there was an option to just charge your Sprint account. And so I was like, it wasn't a big deal. I just tapped it, and it got me golden clams. And next thing I knew, I had basically spent about $400 on this game.
Oh my goodness.
My Quahog was awesome though, but I had to uninstall it. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be playing this. So, that's why like I don't really pay for on. That's why it's kind of a big deal that I spend money on that. Even though it's $3 a month, I had to like really think about it before I did it. I don't want to do that again. I think you froze. Chasity. Wow. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, now you're not frozen and I can hear you. It's been like a minute going, Chasity. I literally almost hung up and called you back.
I almost started singing Let It Go. I was that frozen. Not really. I was never frozen.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Oh, funny work story that's funny to me. The day that it snowed, yes, it snowed once here. It was all like
She lives in
wasn't
Texas
fluffy,
for
so-
context.
Oh yes, it was cold to me. Yes, because I'm a freezeling. Anyway, so I started singing "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?" because I was running out the door went up to build a snowman, and Lisa's like, "Nope." And so I opened up the door. Oh, Lisa's my coworker. I opened up the door, and the wind goes, and I was like, "No, I'm not gonna build a snowman either." It's too cold. Why? It should not get cold in Texas. Someone needs to give Texas a memo. You have no sound.
That reminds me of one of my favorite moments working at UDF. That's where I was working with. It was a convenience store. It was like a 7-Eleven and Baskin Robbins had a baby, because it was a convenience store that had an ice cream section. So this one girl, like her family came in with her, and she was like 4 or 5, and they said she's never had ice cream before, and it's her birthday, and she wanted to have ice cream for the first time. That was her birthday wish. And so she picked chocolate ice cream, and I put it on a cone for her, handed it to her. She took a bite. She threw it on the floor and said, "It's cold. Warm it up."
Little wholesome stories. Speaking of wholesome stories, I might get
Wait,
a
Chastity.
surprise phone call
Chastity.
because my niece is due any second, and she wants to go into labor. She's done. She's like, I want to have this baby. So I told them to call this phone, I think.
Okay, so, like, you went like a whole minute like frozen, and I
It's
couldn't hear.
lagging.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything for like a minute, and you were frozen.
And
Where? Quick question. Are you connected to Wi-Fi? Okay, so long story short, Chastity did not have Wi-Fi, and the recording just kind of there was like 10 more minutes of that, and yeah, it didn't go so well for us. So we just decided to cut it there. So this is the end of my 50th episode, technically, because I have mini-sodes in the introduction. So it's actually my 55th episode, but it's my 50th numbered episode. So there you go. If you see my tweets, you know that after this episode, I am taking a hiatus. It's gonna be a while before I start season 4. That's right. This is the end of the season. This is the end of season 3. I know there's only like 10 episodes. Season 3 was kind of a mess because I was in a transitional period. The first episode was right after I moved to San Francisco, and I didn't have a lot of time. It was kind of crazy, just trying to figure out everything, so I didn't have a whole lot of time. And so there wasn't a whole lot of episodes this season. That's why I was kind of like, should I just end the season here? But I decided to do that. Now that I have my own place, I'm like more stable and schedule wise, and I can figure stuff out better in terms of that. I can actually set aside time to record an episode. And like literally the only reason this took so long to make is because like no, I wasn't just dealing with my schedule. I was dealing with 3 different people's schedules. So yeah, this would have been done a month ago, but it took that long to get everything working out. But yeah, after I upload this, I'm not going to post again for a while. I'm thinking May, maybe April. There's stuff I have to like rework the way I do the episodes. I'm also building a brand new website. I had to re-register the domain because it expired, and I'm switching from WordPress to Wix. Because I've been using WordPress for years, and I didn't want to go away from it, but I realized Wix is actually better because it gives you more control over like creative decisions. And WordPress, as easy as it is to use, it's kind of boring. And even when I was paying $100 a year for the premium edition, like the subscription, and I could change the color. That's it. Like I couldn't do those. I wanted the site to look completely different. That's the closest I could. If you ever saw the old website, that's the closest I can get it to what I want it to look like. All I could do is change the colors. The purple areas, yeah, that's all I can change. It was originally green. $100 gets you that. I don't know. Um, but Wix lets you completely do whatever you want, and I'm building a. I think it's a cool website. I'm like so excited. I'm like refreshing it and like going through it. Like this is cool. It's got like animations and stuff. Anyway, I am rethinking the way I do the show. I actually instead like the way I've been doing it has been completely random. Like sometimes I won't even know what the episode's going to be about till I hit record. And yeah. So let's not do that anymore. I will still be improvising most episodes, but I will know in advance what the episodes are going to be about. In fact, I have the first 10 episodes planned out. And I have season 4 is going to be 20 episodes long. I have the first 10 planned out and the last 4. Yeah, I had to think. I was like 3, no 4. I have the last 4 episodes planned and the first 10. I just gotta kind of fill that gap. Like I said, it's gonna be a while before I come back and do a season 4. But I have a plan this time. And so I am talking with people about getting guests on. I have guests scheduled to come on, and a lot of them are going to be my own friends again. I'm talking with two potential podcasters and a third maybe. I have been asking people. I want to have more varied people. Emery probably won't be on my show for a while. Um, they've been my most frequent guest, and it's not that I don't want them on. Actually that was actually their decision. They're like, I don't want to be on your show anymore. I was like, okay, why? And they're like, I just don't. I've been on it too long, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. They're not very socially active. Like they have a Facebook, but they've posted twice in the past year. They have an Instagram, but they posted once in the past year. So them being on the show 5 times in the past year is probably overwhelming. So I wasn't surprised when they said they didn't want to be on it anymore, which I even I was kind of like, yeah, you've been on it too much. It's like you're my best friend, but yeah, I want more people on than that. And I have been asking. Chastity is coming back. It's like think of it as like the end credits of a Marvel movie. Chastity will return. After I stopped the recording, after about 10 minutes of it freezing, we went off of Skype and we started talking on Voxer, and we will do an episode together. It's a second half of the reason I split it into two halves is there's a part 1 of season 4 and a part 2 of season 4. I'm not going to go into details on what the episodes are about, but I will say the first half is pop culture themed, and the second half, the last 10 episodes, are heavier topics, less fun. And I will say Chastity is going to guest in the second half. And we kind of touched on that in the beginning of our section on here. So that's to give you some idea of what we're going to be talking about. But as for now, I'm going to end this here. And yeah, this has been the 50th episode. I wanted this to be kind of like a celebratory episode. That's why I had um, Emery's my best friend, but then Mark and Chastity are my two oldest friends, and it's like the three of them. I wanted the three of them. Originally, the original idea was Chastity, Mark, and Emery on the episode. Like all of my closest friends. But then Emery opted out. I was like, okay, you two haven't been on an episode. But then it just kept devolving into what it is now. And so now you've met all of my best friends. Well, my main closest friends because I have a lot of people I consider. Anyway, you will meet some more next season because there are a few other people that I'm friends with that I decided for at least for season 4, the people I have on as guests will be people I have never had on as guests before, except for Chastity. That doesn't count. She had a 20-minute section of this video, so that doesn't count. I mean, it counts, but you know what I mean. Prior to this episode, the people that are guesting next season have never been on. I think you know what I mean. Anyway, I was just going to do this outro video to say, hey, this is what's going on, hiatus, but I will now be ending the episode now, and, yeah. I will end this not with my usual outro music. I'm instead going to play the entire song of Come Around by Moon King, who I highly recommend checking out on Spotify. I will, as always, include the link to his Spotify in the show notes. But for now, at least until season 4 starts, have a good